Cotton On Group includes Cotton On, Australia's largest retailer, Typo, Factory, Ruby and Supre, alongside the Cotton On Foundation. So the Cotton On Group has pushed the ethics and sustainability line reasonably hard, and although the ethics stuff seems pretty legit, at least for given industry standards, I'm not too sure about the environment stuff. So here's what they've been up to on the green front. They recently launched Australia's first resealable aluminium bottled water. This is despite the fact that they're actually a bloody clothing shop and have no business selling water to customers, which actually costs more per volume than petrol. That's a bit of a distraction tactic if you ask me. So also on their website they have a special tab labelled sustainability. So let's see what's under here. They mentioned their supply chain, their cotton and their sustainable packaging. So let's unpack each of these and cut out the fluff. Firstly, their supply chain. Cotton On is going for increased transparency with the ultimate goal of end-to-end mapping of all suppliers. The corporation has 307 suppliers, and majority of which are in China, India and Bangladesh. Their goal of increased transparency seems reasonably legit, as they've actually published all of their sponsors online, and they actually have 14 rules of trade for all suppliers. Unfortunately, only one of these is to do with the environment, and it reads, "Respect the environment," in capital letters. Suppliers and subcontractors shall be committed at all times to respect the environment and shall comply at least with the standards and requirements of the applicable local and international laws and regulations. So when you unpack this is essentially placing the onus of cleaning up their own mess onto the governments of India, Bangladesh and China, despite the fact that they are known for their race to the bottom, loose environmental policies that are designed to entice the very business of multinational corporations such as Cotton On. So forgive me if you don't hear me whooping for joy here. Secondly, they mention cotton itself. They partner with the Better Cotton Initiative and have the goal to have 100% of their cotton to be sustainable through their supply chain. They also have their own little project in Kwale country, Kenya, with the goal to help local farmers transition from subsistence farming to more sustainable cotton farming practices. I wonder where I've heard that before. Cotton On Group received credit for this and was named 2019 Responsible Retailer Initiative of the Year. How much of an impact is this actually having? Well, in 2018, 1,600 tons of raw cotton was harvested from this project. I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say that this isn't a huge portion of their total annual cotton consumption. As for how much Cotton On actually uses versus polyester, leather, silk, etc., and other cheaper materials, we're not told. We just have to guess on this front. Transparency, huh? Finally, packaging. So, beginning in New Zealand, the business made a goal to remove all single-use plastic bags from its stores by June 2019, which it achieved in April 2019, and as a result, the group has stopped 38 million plastic bags from entering the environment annually. Okay, great, but Cotton On shouldn't take all of the credit here. Grassroots organisations and NGOs like Greenpeace actually led the charge on that campaign in New Zealand, and the ban meant that Cotton On had no choice to change, at least for their Kiwi market. Granted, it is a big international company, and we should be pleased that they put in some effort. Alright, so are these actions symbolic of Cotton On Group's genuine ambition and desire to reduce their footprint, or is it just clever marketing to strengthen their brand? Unfortunately, their abysmal transparency standards are letting the side down. I couldn't find a single statistic on how many of their products are made from cotton, polyester or leather, where any of their raw materials are sourced, how much carbon dioxide is produced or water is used by them, or whether their sustainability efforts are proving effective over time. That's the issue with the fast fashion industry and the environment in general. We simply don't know all of the stats. Business Insider estimates that the fast fashion industry produces 10% of the world's CO2, which is more than international flights and shipping combined, is the world's second largest consumer of fresh water, because of cotton primarily, and not to mention the heavy land use of cotton and the fact that the industry itself relies on the premise of fast, cheaply made clothing, 85% of which ending up in the rubbish. What should a company like Cotton On do? Well, it seems to me like it stumbled on the starting block. The first step should really be a nice juicy audit of all of its materials used within its supply chains, its carbon footprint, water footprint, land footprint, and put it into a pretty and accessible graph for all of us to see. The key here is just for them to be honest and open, even when their stats are less than fantastic. Though there may be some reputational concern, that kind of transparency is what got the company from a B- to an A on the ethical front, in this particular fashion report here anyway. After conducting an audit, you can then give a good honest go. So compare scope 1, 2 and 3 emissions, design all products' lifestyles end to end and avoid the landfill completely. Stop with polyester and microplastics. Think about being truly carbon neutral and what materials could make that possible. Let's not think too much about the supposed role of fast fashion in our hypothetical future greener, decolonised, ethical, peaceful utopia. Okay, so is it greenwashing? Not really. Just a bit of distraction, a bit of self-ego stroking, and a whole lot of opacity. Nothing new here.